What is up, guys? Welcome back for another video. I appreciate you tuning in. So today's going to be really simple. I haven't really had much time on the water to do any footage. We will be getting some footage on the water very soon, but for now, I just really wanted to give you guys an update on what I've been doing. I don't know how many of you know, but I love hobbies. I have a million different hobbies. I'm a musician. I love fishing. I used to play paintball. I like mechanic stuff. I like woodworking, carpentry, things like that, you know, building coffee tables, whatever. And a long time ago, I had a passion for trying to create baits. One of the things that I kind of did for a long time, but then kind of gave it up. I really don't know. I guess I just didn't have the time for it anymore, but was bait making. And so over the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 months, I've really gotten back into my creative side, if that makes any sense. I've gotten back into bait making. I've gotten back into rod building as well, because I built a couple rods way back and like thoroughly enjoyed doing that, and then just kind of gave it up. So I'm getting back into all that. You know, I'm trying to build my knowledge of fishing equipment, whether that be, you know, rods, reels, things like that. Baits, you know, experimenting with different custom colors and different styles of baits. But one thing I really love doing is hand carving crankbaits and glide baits, jerk baits, things like that. I like to make them out of wood. So, you know, I've been experimenting with a couple different kinds of woods and things like that. And so I just wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. I'll post a couple pictures here of baits that I've actually completed. Now, this first one was a little glide bait that I made, and it was kind of a trial run, you know, to see if it even worked. And it was for a buddy of mine that I work with. He does a lot of saltwater fishing. So I told him from the get-go, I was like, look, this is going to be kind of the prototype. You know, we don't know if it's going to hold up, you know, if it can handle it, this, that, and the other. And it ended up not being able to handle it. It wasn't the bait itself. It was the hardware that was holding the glide bait together. Apparently, I didn't make it strong enough. And he had probably a 40 to 60 pound tarpon hit the bait. He fought it for just a few seconds. He hit it good. He set the hook into it, and it tore the bait apart. So that was my cue to upgrade the hardware. And these glide baits that I'm building right now is to make them really strong. But yet you still have that handmade, hand carved feel of a glide bait. But before I show you guys that, I'll post a picture. This is a popping frog that I made myself. Really kind of a unique little lure, something different, but carved that out of poplar. Did a custom paint job on it. I've been experimenting with colors, and been a really cool little bait. I fished with it a little bit. There's a few little tweaks that I would make on the next one, but for this one, I mean, it is what it is. It does work. It has a nice little popping action to it, and I will end up posting some videos, some shorts of my lures actually functioning. And then I also made this one, which my buddy at work, the same guy that I built the last glide bait for, he's going to be doing some testing with this jerk bait that I made. And here's a picture of that right now. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. But here is the ones that I'm actually working on. So this is the one that I've gotten the most work done to. And it's in 2 pieces. It is a glide bait, but I'll show you the front half because of the carving. But I'm getting better at my carving, getting a little bit more detailed with it, and figuring that out. This one does have some weight in it already. I've already poured some lead in it. And here's the back end. Now this one is made out of I actually told my buddy wrong. It's not Spanish mahogany. This is Honduran mahogany. It's some wood that I had left over from a guitar project a couple years ago, that I did for somebody, but Honduran mahogany. And it's really a beautiful wood grain, but that's going to be it. This one is about 5.5, 5.75 inches long by the time you get the hardware put into it. So working on that right now. That's going to be a cool little bait. I got to do some more finish sanding. I've got to drill some pilot holes for, hook hangers and the line tie and all that stuff. And then I just have to seal the wood and test it and make sure I get the right weight on it, because with a glide bait you don't want something that just sinks to the bottom, and you don't want it floating on top. You kind of want a suspending bait, so you have to play with the weight a little bit. I can always drill out a little lead, but anyway, so hopefully you guys can see the detail in there that I'm getting. But that one's turning out great. I'm really excited about how this one's going to turn out. So I've been working on that. Now this one, this is going to be the big bad boy. I'm making one for my buddy at work to try. He like I said, he fishes saltwater, so he wanted one that was going to be like a mullet color. So this is going to be the big one. That this is about a 7.25 inch bait by the time you get done with it, and so excited to get to working on that one a little bit more. This is just the rough cutout of that bait, so that's going to be a cool one. I actually have two other 5.5, 5.75 inch ones. I have enough wood for that, so I still have to cut those out, but I'm going to be making two more of those, and I have enough wood for one more 7-inch one. And so I'm going to be making a couple of those for me. So we will be having those in some videos. Maybe we can catch some big bass on them. But it's just fun. I love doing this. I do all of it by hand. There's really no power tools involved other than a hand drill. But all the little details I hand carve. My lovely wife, for my birthday, got me an X-Acto knife set, and it's got the different 3 different styles of handles and a bunch of different blades. That came in handy for carving this. But anyway, so there's those. So you guys will be seeing pictures of these when I start, pumping some of those out and getting them done. My other project, I'm sure you can see it in the background right there. I actually fixed a rod for a gentleman at work. I'll post a couple pictures of that. I didn't really take very good pictures of it, but he had an old, probably late 80s, early 90s model pistol grip Quantum rod. And it was kind of a sentimental rod to him. He said it was always his favorite rod. That was his go-to. And he loved that rod. So he wanted to keep the handle portion of it. He loved that old pistol grip handle on it. And so, but he wanted to have the rod functional again. At some point it broke. And so I put a new blank in it, put some new guides on it, and kept the old handle and fixed it up where he can start fishing with it again. So that kind of sparked my my interest in rod making again. I really enjoyed doing it in the past. It sparked a fire in me, I mean, since I've done that stuff in the past with the bait making and with the rod building, I've gained a lot more knowledge of measurements, and I've worked as a machinist, for a couple years at the place I work at, doing a lot of measuring, a lot of drilling, running milling machines, a little bit on the lathes, and I also did a lot of carpentry work for people. So my skill level has raised up a lot. I'm pretty good at woodworking and different stuff like that. So just these little projects have sparked a fire in me. I really enjoy doing it. So I'm going to start doing it on a regular basis and try to make some money doing it. If there's somebody that can't afford a $200 glide bait, I can make them a handmade glide bait and make me a little bit of money, but they're happy too, because I'm not going to charge somebody $200 for a chunk of wood. I'm just not. So yeah, that's the whole deal. And with the rods, trying to build a good quality rod for somebody, you know, they want something specific, I can make them something really nice, you know, something custom that fits what they like, what kind of fishing they do, and they can do it at a good price. You know, that's I'm not going to start a business doing it or anything, but it's something I really enjoy doing on the side. So why not do it? But here's the rod that I actually built for myself. And this is a pretty funky little rod. Okay, you might think it's weird, but here's the rod. So built everything there, got all that put together. Had to I wanted something different. You know, I didn't just want a butt cap. So I ended up cutting this piece and sanding it to go right there just to kind of blend with the other cork. And of course, you know, did the thread and the epoxy and all that jazz on there. But did it to all the guides as well. There's a few little mistakes there, little things that I need to work on, you know. But this is a 5.5 foot heavy fast action. And I know you're looking at me crazy because like the shortest rod that I usually use is a 7'2". That's like the shortest rod I use. But the reason I wanted to make this rod was literally for one thing and one thing only: a hollow body frog. Walking a frog when you're standing on the front of the boat, the lower you can put that rod tip to the water without hitting the water, the better you can walk a bait. It's really easy to pinpoint your cast if you're skipping it kind of under docks, or if you're skipping it under some, you know, mangroves or, you know, little brush up against the bank. A short rod actually works really well for that. So I made this 5.5 foot heavy fast action as my frog rod, and I'm going to be doing some testing on it, see, you know, what kind of things I need to do a little different, you know, on other rods that I build. But this is a great start. And so yeah, it turned out pretty nice. And I think I'm going to really enjoy fishing with it. And I can say that I made the rod. So guys, that's what I've been doing, along with fishing and still keeping up with the tournaments and things like that. I've just really been getting into some of my passions again, if that makes any sense. And so you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of the stuff that I make in my videos, along with fishing the tournaments, you know, and trying to do well there, and, you know, on the water footage. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff like this. You know, I personally would like to get into making my own jigs, making my own spinner baits. Of course, crankbaits, lipless crankbaits. I would really enjoy getting into all that again. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with that. But you guys, please stay tuned for more stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming for this channel. I don't know completely where it's going, but we're going to have a good time doing it. And I'm going to try to make some great content for you guys. On a different note, let me get the camera raised up here. I know you guys can't see my face. This is my new fishing jersey that Dale, our tournament director, made. And basically, he found a really good deal on these shirts on Amazon. I think they were like $20 a piece. These are really nice shirts. They're kind of vented in certain areas. Right in here, it's like that mesh material. So it's a really cool shirt, but protects you from the sun. Is a really good fit. And what he did is he got some iron-on Bass Lunkers decals made. So you got the shoulder patch there. And hopefully you guys can see. It's got a nice hood on it. But you guys can see the Bass Lunkers logo back there. Took the time to make up these shirts for us. Really, really appreciate it. It's my new favorite shirt to wear. So you're going to be seeing this at every tournament. Something else. We have the next tournament coming up May 9th, I believe it is. I'm going to be doing some pre-fishing. We're doing it at Crooked Lake, which is 10 minutes down the road from me. So we're going to be doing a tournament there. Guys, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this tournament. There are actually two lakes. There is Little Crooked, and then there's Big Crooked. I don't fish Big Crooked much. Most of the time, I fish Little Crooked. The boat landing's right there. It's free to put in there. And if I wanted to go into Big Crooked, I didn't go very far. I would just go through the canal and fish a little bit of Big Crooked. But I always found fish in Little Crooked Lake. But Little Crooked Lake is super low right now. And when I say super low, let's just put it to you this way. It's like 1.5 feet deep in the middle of the lake. That's a no-go. So I will not be fishing in Little Crooked. I'm going to have to go to Big Crooked. So I will be doing my pre-fishing there. And yeah, we're going to see where it takes us. I've been hearing that it's kind of a tough bite on the lake. That the fish are kind of finicky and they're hard to find. But we'll be pumping out some footage of that. And I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. But I'm really excited for the next tournament, being a local lake, kind of one of my home lakes. And we'll see how that goes. I really, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you're a new viewer, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot of stuff coming for this channel. I really hope you're enjoying the content, but make sure you turn on the notifications so you get that update when I post something new. Also, make sure that you like the video. Go back, watch some of my older stuff. I've got a lot of good tips on here. Tackle hacks, if that makes any sense. Make sure you comment below as well. Make sure you're keeping in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you guys if you guys have any questions about anything. If there's something, a topic you would like me to make a video on, please make sure that you put that up, and I will definitely do that. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. I appreciate you watching. Love you guys.